The 16th language of the spirit is a language of body. Spirit don't relate with a man that have not received body. One of the occasions that bring God in constant communion and fellowship with mortals is that he come to check the burdens he has given to that man. And what is a burden? A burden is God revealing his will and intention to a man. So anytime God made his will and intention known to a man, that man has received what we call body to run with. So anytime that God make his will known to a man, that avenue will grant that man an access to keep meeting with God on a regular basis. Because anytime God makes his will known to a man, he will come to know what that man has done with that way. So one of the things that establish relationship and communication as part of the spirit language is that that man must have received a body. Because a man that has not received a body will have no platform for God to come and be checking to see whether those things he have discussed with that man have been implemented, or those things is on track, or that man is diligent enough to walk in line with the things that he has spoken. But the thing is that bodies are not received by running. Men that receive bodies are men that have learned the principle of waiting. Because anytime that God wants to make his intention known to a man, that man must first secure the trust of God. We can't secure his trust by moving up and down. We secure his trust by waiting upon him. So men that have access to stay with the Lord, as they gain his trust, he now begin to make known his will to that man. And that thing that he said to you become the reason that you are going to impart your generation. And moreover, those things that the Lord whisper to you become your message for your generation. And I want us to know that the burden that we receive from God may not necessarily be only for the kingdom. God can whisper something to you concerning a business, and that thing that he whispered become the platform that will make you exceptional in your field of career. God can whisper something to you in your career as a doctor, as a pharmacist, as a lawyer. On the basis of that thing that he whispered, it becomes a foundation in which you will rise above your mate and your counterpart, because that which the Lord has whispered become a platform that God will keep coming to confirm and to see whether those things that you have whispered, you pick them as a tool to run with in order to affect a generation. So burden is one of the languages of the spirit that keep men on perpetual communion and fellowship with God. But burden is not received by running. Men that receive burden are men that have learned the ways of waiting. Because a man that have not received burden have no message. Every one of us speak a fraction of the burden that we have received from the Lord. And there is nothing that make a man struggle on earth when that man have not sit down to receive a burden from the Lord. This burden is that God come to whisper his will to you. You cannot ask God to give you Africa if you have not received even a burden concerning your life. What has God whispered to you concerning your life? What has God whispered to you concerning your family? What has God whispered to you concerning your business, your career? And what has God whispered to you concerning your ministry? There is a whispering that brings us under perpetual communion with God. That whispering is called body. And one of our prayers tonight, Lord, keep me in a place where I can access body. Because God don't give body to runners. He gives bodies to waiters. And when a man has not received body from the Lord, that man don't have message. No matter how you desire to be used of God, if you have not received a body, you have no message. Because the body that you receive, that thing that the Lord has whispered to you, is your message to your generation.